Trails West and the Donner Party. Amelia S., Sabrina V., and Liam H. Hour 5. Manifest Destiny. This was the statement that proclaimed that American expansion west was meant to happen. Americans had to manifest their destiny. This is the Trails West, how people survived despite terrible conditions and struggles. Americans moved west and expanded their horizons. The Trails West were the routes to the Oregon Country, California, and a new life with possible fortune. The Oregon Trail began in Independence, Missouri, and went west through the South Pass to Fort Hall, then continued northwest to the Oregon Country. The Mormon Trail, the Mormons were forced out of the states, followed roughly the same route, going from Navajo, then going alongside the Oregon Trail through the South Pass, then going south to Salt Lake City in the Utah Territory. The Santa Fe Trail went south from Independence just above Texas through dry desert to Santa Fe. The Trails West held dangers. You could be short rations, meet wild beasts, and fall terribly ill. Mountain men and fur traders helped the settlers a bit because they had lived in the area and they knew how to survive. Manifest Destiny and how it connected to the trails. Manifest Destiny meant that American expansion was meant to happen, and that people should let it happen. The Trails West opened up the West to Americans, such as fur traders and land speculators, who bought up land to sell to settlers for farms. The trails gave routes to trade areas like Santa Fe and Sacramento on the California Trail. These places grew with trade and the people who went rushing west to own farms and get rich. This expanded the Americas and let others manifest their destiny.
Many people chose to go west on the trails, and they had many reasons to do so. There were a lot of people looking for jobs and money to make. There were many opportunities: farming, merchandising, gold, and land speculation. People were very interested in going west because of the Louisiana Purchase. Because the Louisiana Purchase had not been fully explored. People also traveled west to find more markets for religious reasons. Many different people traveled west as well. Mountain men trapped furs, and land speculators bought and sold land. People in need of money worked any jobs they could, and Mormons moved to find a place of acceptance. To elaborate, Mormons moved west because people did not agree with their ways and values. Mormons believe in polygamy, and people thought that was shameful. Joseph Smith founded the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in New York in 1830. He and his 1,600 followers moved to Utah in 1847, where they settled near the Great Salt Lake. They made dams and canals. The Mormons and other settlers moved west using trails and passes the mountain men had found. One such of these mountain men was Jedediah Smith, who learned about the South Pass in the Rocky Mountains from the Native Americans, and he popularized it. Mountain men encountered many dangers in their daily lives. Some of these things are not being able to hunt or like a lack of prey, angry natives, and predators. An example of these predators was a grizzly bear. Jedediah Smith was attacked by a grizzly bear, and it injured mostly his face and head. Mountain men weren't the only people to encounter dangers on the trails west. Settlers moving west also had their fair share of hardships. The covered wagon trains they rode were accident-prone and disease-ridden. Many small children were hurt along the way by falling out of the wagon. People were also run over. Supplies ran out very quickly. Settlers went long periods without food or water. They traveled about 15 to 20 miles a day with the men driving their wagons, taking care of animals, and hunting. While everybody had it rough on the trails, it often seems like women had the brunt of the work. Women had to wake up at 4 a.m. each day to start cooking for everybody in their wagon train. Women had to collect wood for campfires, kindle the fires, cook all the food, handle the water they drank, pick up camp and pack away boxes, yoke the cattle. Women were crucial to maintaining order in camp. The Donner Party. 32 people left on April 16, 1846, in 9 covered wagons. They were on the Oregon Trail, and they wanted to take a shortcut that took off 350 to 400 miles and was supposed to take only 4 months. They were warned of the trail, but went anyway. The trail was too big, and they had to abandon some covered wagons. From there, things went downhill. Their animals ran away. They were losing and running out of supplies eventually. They were out of food, and they ended up resorting to cannibalism, and some people died from hypothermia. In the end, 31 people lives were lost.